dark night falls, Krampus prowls the streets. Elves that lost their souls dance to wicked beats.
Evil grins and cries, Christmas night's demise. Tales twisted cries, Christmas night's surprise.
Welcome to Distorted Reality's Holiday Special. Here are your hosts, Jay Rock and Frank Walls. Our special guest, Mr. Valentine. Remember, discuss the unknown and discover your truths. And happy holidays.
Welcome to Distorted Realities Holiday Special. My name is Jay Rock,
Frank Walls right here, guys.
and our special guest,
Greetings and salutations, y'all. It's Mr. Valentine.
Mr. Valentine's, folks, is back with some more fun facts, right?
Yeah, I have a couple for you guys today.
Right. So, welcome to the Holiday Special.
There you go.
Now, a lot of you know that this is the time of the year where we get to share gifts and exchange, pleasantries and celebrate a religious event, right?
Mhm.
I believe it's the birth
The birth.
of whom?
Jesus.
Yes. And then there's a gentleman. who-
Amen.
Amen. Yes.
Amen.
There's a gentleman out there who wears a suit.
Santa.
Saint Nick,
Saint Nicholas.
Saint Nicholas, right? We call him Santa Claus, right? And essentially, we're not going to talk about him today.
He's
We
nowhere
all
to
know
be
he's all
seen.
good, and we love him to death. But we're here to talk about the guy that sits to the right of him.
Oh, wow.
He's not here to give gifts. He's here to collect. He's here to collect the little boys and girls who don't listen to mom and dad.
Yeah, those wimpy kids, right?
Yeah.
The ones that are annoying.
Yeah. So we're here to talk about Krampus and his legion of evil minions
There you go.
and his reindeers that Santa kind of borrows from time to time and pretties them up, right? So that's what we're going to talk about today, and I hope you like the special intro that we created for you. The AI department is really doing something.
Finally, no. I'm
Yeah.
joking.
It's long enough, right?
I've been watching him make it, and
Hey.
wow, the AI's been improving
We got
vastly.
Kid That Gaming in the chat. It says that intro was fire.
Thank you so much, Kid Dan. Happy holidays to you, my
Yeah,
friend.
yeah.
Happy holidays, Kid Dan.
So, as you can see today, there is no background, no green screen. We do have 3 stories to tell you. Beautiful narration. And this time, I decided to tap into the arts, right? So, every video you're going to see is going to have music playing in the background, but the vocals is telling a story. So, pay very close attention to the audio because the story ties into the whole legend of Krampus. So, yeah, I think this is going to be great.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
So first things first, I want to say thank you to all the viewers that participate. I did submit a TikTok yesterday, letting people know that the show will be live.
I saw it.
It will be live on Facebook. It will be live here on YouTube and Twitch. That literally gave us more subscribers when we
Nice.
saw it.
Nice.
Kudos to Mr. Valentine who helped me create that video. He
Yes,
did some
thank
really
you.
good motions and stuff,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. He's a great how you call that?
Video cinematographer.
There you go.
Or cameraman.
I appreciate it. Appreciate it. I tried.
Abbreviated. Cameraman.
So are you guys ready for the holiday season?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Christmas is around the corner, literally a week away.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And I find that I sometimes go back in time. You see, when you're an adult, the expectations are different. like for me, a grilled cheese sandwich and hot cocoa is Christmas enough
Wow.
at that time of the year. But it makes me feel good, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's also the ability to give and get, to give to people who are deserving of it. One, my boba, love you. And more importantly, to receive humbly, right?
Mhm, mhm.
It's zero expectations, but the intention is always a beautiful one, and it's always pleasing to know that
Gotcha.
people give. But the most important thing is to spread love, spread holiday cheer, help those who are less fortunate.
Mm-hmm.
And these are very trying times, right?
Oh yeah.
100%.
So before we start talking about, you know, Christmas and Krampus and the evil elves that lurk around us, I want to talk about a current event.
Before you do that, I got Edwin Ibanez saying hi in the chat. He also saying that our volume is a little bit low.
It's a little low. Thank you so much, Mr. Ibanez. All right, so how about now? Are those levels checking out for you?
He said we hear you loud when you talk. Pero you fix it now. So.
So let's just wait for him to reply.
Edwin, how we can you
Sound
hear us
good?
now? Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, do a mic check real quick.
Test 1, 2, testing. Yep. This is a mic check. Mic
All
check.
right, so I'm really cranking up the volume now, so we should be plenty loud.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I know you love loud.
Oh,
Yeah.
sure, buddy.
Oh, here, you in?
All right, so check again. If you could ask Kid Dan or ask Edwin to reply.
I got Corrales here. It says Boba loves you and everyone hit there. Happy holiday to you guys.
Oh,
Love the setup.
thank you so
Happy
much.
holidays
So,
to you.
happy holidays, Coral. So, things are happening.
Mhm.
World is in a very, I think the word is innocuous
Mm-hmm,
or weird state, right? So I want to go back. Let's go back in time. To me, the Roswell event
Oh yeah.
was, I didn't experience that. I wasn't born at the time, but that was the talk. The time.
I was gonna ask you how old are you because
Guys, J Rock's actually 400 years old, guys. He's 400.
I am ancient.
So this led to me thinking about, like, I remember I used to love reading the magazines, about the alien discoveries in
Mhm,
Roswell, New
mhm.
Mexico, and then the whole thing about Dulce, New Mexico, the other military base that
Yeah.
was built. And then Bob Lazar.
Yeah,
remember
Bob
that?
Lazar,
Oh my God, he
yeah.
was great.
Yeah.
Like, he was talking about his experience
What
with
was
the natural UFO.
the labs? Something about his labs was the place he used to work was called like a lab something.
I forgot what the
Yeah.
lab was
Yeah,
called.
no, this is my
but
first time hearing about this. This is
Bob
interesting.
Lazar, you never heard about
he
Bob
was
Lazar?
so
Yeah,
Bob
no.
Lazar. So by the way, folks, Mr. Valentine is a lot younger than most of us. We in our time were able and privy to that experience. So I'm just going to share. Bob Lazar was an engineer that worked in the S1 facility at
Los Alamos, right?
in Los Alamos in Area 51, and he was the first one to
okay.
leak out the alien UFO agenda.
Got
Right,
it, got it,
Yeah.
got it.
He
Okay.
used to have like a car that had like a
He had a DeLorean.
with a turbine or something.
yeah.
But what-
So you
Yeah.
know what a DeLorean is?
Yeah, of
right?
course I know what a
Yeah, okay.
DeLorean is.
Yeah.
Get the flux capacitor.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Bob Lazar is
He's still alive or?
no, he's still alive. He's
Okay.
doing, he had documentaries and
Yeah, he's always doing interviews. He did
Got
one with
it,
Joe
got it.
Rogan.
yeah.
That one was
Yeah.
good. That one was good. So,
He said in 1989, Lazar claiming to have been part of a classified U.S. government
Yeah.
project concerned with the reverse engineering of extraterrestrial technology.
Oh, okay.
So supposedly, yes, I think he was MIT too, right?
Yeah.
He was not, but he
So-
he was well known in the town because his car has like an engine,
Yeah.
like a
got
jet
it, got it.
engine or whatever, and they recruited him to work there, and he supposedly he saw the ovni, no, the UFO, the
Yeah.
spaceship. He saw
Yeah.
it,
Okay.
and he was supposed to work on the re-engineering and the technology. They were trying to make it.
They're
turn
trying to
it on,
replicate it.
and they were able to. They ended up turning it on and flying it around and stuff like that.
Got it. Got
so
it.
yeah. So this is great because then I went even in between those time periods and I started reading about the German Nazi Party.
Mhm.
You know the
The Veil? The Veil?
Der Glocken is called.
Okay.
Right, and then their weapons, right? They had weapons that they had created. The Wunderwaffe, the wonder weapon,
Yeah.
right?
The Wonder Weapon.
So there was a
okay.
lot. So now you know where that comes from.
Yeah. So
You know the first engine, the first plane to have a jet engine was a Nazi plane, but they couldn't mass produce it. So I think they built like 2 or 3 that were test. And
Right.
but now I know why some of the weapons in zombies,
So-
zombies are called Wonder
So,
Weapons.
just so
Yeah.
you know, the creator of the V2 rockets and the rockets we use today, and were modified, of course, but they was made by a man named Werner von
Werner von
Braun,
Braun, the founder of
right?
NASA.
Very non-believer in all this stuff. He was very esoteric, but when he passed away, he put a biblical text on the gravestone because he discovered that there was a lot going on. And then the Glocken is a time travel UFO
Oh, okay.
device that was created by the Germans at that time period. But it just led me to think about all this stuff because what's happening, right? Massive reports of sightings, i.e., an example,
Yeah.
the aliens at Bayside, Florida,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I
And then
heard about that.
The
yeah.
ones in Vegas.
the ones in Vegas.
Yeah.
Then you have the report on CNN about the military, talking about UFOs being actually captured. So now it's no longer classified. It's a real
It's
thing
out
right?
there. Yeah.
And this is stuff that I remember Ronald Reagan having a speech, and he's saying, "Could you imagine what would happen if an alien race were to invade our world? How all our differences wouldn't matter." We haven't reached that stage yet, right? Because
Yet.
apparently now you have USOs, underwater submersible objects,
Submersible objects.
right? And then like you have all these different things happening, and now what's the latest thing? Rome.
The drones. You know, I was watching one of those videos of the drones, and supposedly they had the audio from the Air Force Base,
Right.
Oh.
and they were calling them. I forget how the term they were using, but they were not using USOs or UAPs.
Yeah.
They were using a different one, and I was like, I wonder what it means, but I forgot about it.
So,
But it was a
so
different
it's
term.
interesting, right? Because we live in a time where technology is advancing
Rapidly.
rapidly. It's
Mhm.
readily accessible to anyone for creating things. But these things are massive,
Yeah, they're not small.
right? And apparently New Jersey and parts of New York and Pennsylvania have been in the crux of these mass sightings, as much as
Yeah.
50 at a time,
Wow.
coming
like-
out of the water, going in the water, crashing into roads. Nobody knows what's going on.
And they were trying to say that they were like amateur flying drones, but a lot of people get their stuff from Timu, and they're not gonna be waterproof. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, yeah. If you're gonna listen, if you're gonna get a
Your favorite
waterproof
store, huh?
if you're gonna get a waterproof drone, that's gonna be like a good chunk
A
of
good
money.
drone.
You
You
gotta
had
find
to,
a
but you
great
see,
one.
this is where physics comes in, right?
Yeah.
You have to understand them. A drone of that caliber that is tolerant to the density of the water, that can propel itself right back out, is not going to be a cheap drone.
God, no.
And
God,
only
no.
the wealthiest of people will probably be able to afford it, and not any average Joe.
Did you saw that video of the one that the NYPD police had? It's like it's well, I'm not sure, guy, but it's like me. That one was bigger than me. I'm 5'5",
Yeah, these things are like
5'2".
as big as
These are
vehicles.
Oh wow.
So,
Okay.
so my
Crazy.
thing now is like, what's next?
Yeah.
You know, I don't foresee little green men
Mm-hmm.
coming out of nowhere. You know what I mean? I don't
Yeah.
foresee that. Maybe elves, but not Martians, not yet.
I think they're getting very bold now. If like 50 or more are coming out of the water and like there's mad
Yeah.
sighting, so maybe something bigger is on the horizon. It can be.
This is what I heard, right? This is what I heard. Okay, I'm not. It's not.
It's not a
me.
prophecy.
Yeah, I'm not quoting. This is what people,
Put
experts.
that camera.
Yeah. Okay. Hi. This is what expert thinks, and they were talking about it. Supposedly, they what they think is that there's some radioactive material that end up being lost, and they having all these drones up in the air looking like crazy, or because they have some like type of cameras or stuff, the sensors that can detect radiation. So supposedly they're flying all over or looking because they're afraid that somebody can make like a dirty.
Dirty bomb.
Exactly.
Yeah. We don't like
So,
using the B word, but
yeah.
just to provide a
Yeah.
context.
And that's a dirty bomb. It's a bomb that contains uranium or some radioactive material that can pretty much can kill a whole block or more. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
I'm pretty sure that's a war crime too. So
Exactly. So supposedly there were some you know those machines that do like the CT scan.
LiDAR.
Yeah, those machines.
The LiDAR machine. So
Supposedly that.
let me just give an explanation. So
Yeah.
for those of you who don't know, radar emits a sound that bounces back, and based on its topography, if there's anything that it hits before the actual standard of topography, it'll emit a blip in the radar. Right? LiDAR is that times 1,000 because it actually can do 3D images.
Yeah.
Right. So it's something that's flying over the sky. It doesn't matter how dense an object is, it can pierce through that. And that's how they make discoveries now, right? They actually find these ancient sites that they're buried under thousands of years of sediment. And they're-
Ultrasound, like an ultrasound.
yeah, it's like an ultrasound, yeah. Like if the earth was pregnant, that's what you would use, a LiDAR. You wouldn't use an ultrasound machine. But yeah, so that it's an interesting period. So I went into the interwebs, I went into TikTok and I found a couple of videos. And I think that we should just look at them
Yeah.
and just share our thoughts. I'm just gonna mute myself. I will cite the sources once I'm done with each video so that we give credit where credit is due. It is in ours. We do get it from TikTok, and fair is fair. So in the
Please,
video
y'all.
scope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go. Hit.
Heaven in your eyes, walking with you under Israel sky. Doom, 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 under Israel sky. Oh man, it's crunker than a bitch out here.
All right, so that video wasn't visible. The name wasn't fully visible, but that's video STK is what I got from that TikTok video. And what you're seeing is a whole bunch of drones in the sky.
Yeah. That's still scary. Let me tell you.
yeah, I'm seeing the video right now. Actually, wow, they're getting bolder. That's very bold of them to do. I
So-
mean, they probably figured out that they've already been like outed by the government, but still pretty bold.
But that's the thing. The government is denying it. That is
Yeah.
not them, right? And no any and even the Pentagon is denying it's them, right?
Mhm.
But if it's like an enemy or another country, you know, it doesn't make sense. You know, they're covering up something.
No, I mean, it could also be plausible deniability.
Yeah.
You know, you ever seen the person do something and then they swear to high heaven that they never did it,
Mm-hmm.
and they have like everything in their heads. They're like, that
I
could
didn't
be.
think about it the same.
And
with
by
you,
the way,
Coach Erhan.
I'm just gonna just state that could be a case. I'm not stating it as a fact. So Project Bluebeam.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What do you want to talk about Project Bluebeam? Because I have a video for you, but I want you to share your thoughts.
Well, I don't know much about that Project Bluebeam, but I know some, right? So what I know is that they're trying to make like a fake alien invasion. You quote me if I'm wrong, right? That's what they're trying to do with the Project Bluebeam, and also we have to be how you call this? We have to be real. The technology is out there. If you go right now to downtown Disney, they have the drone show. You know,
Yeah.
I've seen in China, they do like dragons with drones.
Yeah.
You know, that's how the technology has advanced from that
Right.
little drone that you used to buy and take pictures. Now they have like 1,000 drones making it in the air a dragon, you know, making it make like a dragon or whatever. So the project Bluebeam, they're trying to make like a fake alien invasion. And also they're trying to make like something in the sky. Maybe you can see Jesus Christ coming down. They
Yeah.
just want to scare people like that or whatever.
And you got holographic technology.
Exactly.
You have so many technologies that are so readily accessible that it's plausible that this could be what we call a planned event,
It's
right?
tie up.
Yeah, psyop. So it's something to factor in, something to consider. But
Mhm.
I believe I have a video here that might surprise you. I think it's video too, so let me give it a go. And if it's not, then I have to find it. But let me just put on the video.
Hit it.
All right, hit it.
Ma, you see this?
Holy shit! What the hell is that?
What is happening? You guys see this?
I'll play it one more time because it's a short video, but this is something that happened in New Jersey.
Ma, you see this?
Holy shit! What the hell is that?
What is happening? You guys see this?
So what do you make of that? Right.
That's definitely a blue bean right there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely
so-
a blue,
right?
blue beam.
So I did speak with a colleague of mine who saw the show and he put a thumbs up. And I didn't realize that that person put a thumbs up. So
The person from
yeah.
the. Oh,
They saw the last episode. And he was like,
Okay.
yeah, I saw your show. I put a thumbs up. And I was like, oh my God. So I apologize for that. But thank you so much for the love and support. I really want to go into this thing where that person told me, I asked him about New Jersey. That person commutes from time to time to that area. He goes, yeah, it's happening, so a very reputable person. So I don't think he would lie about that. And then I also have my cousin who commutes there practically every day. And he told me, yeah, there's a lot of sightings and a lot of lights visible of things moving.
Mhm.
It's crazy. You could sometimes see it from the Hudson River, he said.
Wow.
Wow.
You see?
Yeah, so it's not that far from Manhattan or New York City. So at least the question, what's going on? And yeah, let's go to the third video.
Alrighty.
No way! Yo! No way. You got good footage? Good footage? Oh, they bugging! The shit fucking crashed! Yo!
The SUV level. Okay.
Yeah, so these things are massive. So that was a video of a drone in New Jersey. And it looks like it's stuck in the road. It fell down and it's in the road. And this thing was like the size of a vehicle. It was
Wow.
massive.
That thing looks like a boat, like a yacht or something.
Yeah. That's,
So it's a sign of the times, folks. And you know why I want to bring this forward? Because you know how we try to just grab facts and sources and different things. There is a parable in the Bible that does make mention that you will know when the times are coming when you start seeing these kind of anomalies, right?
Yeah.
I'm not paraphrasing word for word, but it is written in a way where it explains this kind of events, series of events happening. And so far, it hasn't missed a spot.
yeah.
The greatest story ever told hasn't skipped a beat. It's still that
Yeah.
good.
They have all the predictions
Set up.
have come true. You know what I mean? Like everything, all the predictions from the Bible.
Oh,
Whoa,
We got a
have
call.
Distorted Realities. This is J Rock. Happy holidays.
Hi, holidays, guys.
Hey, what's
Hey.
going on?
what's going on?
Hey, Toro. I have a little story for you guys about the whole or the drones in Jersey.
Oh,
Oh, go ahead.
go ahead.
Bring it on.
So it's crazy because this happened like while I was talking to my friend. So my best friend actually lives in Jersey, and she's been telling me like, "Hey, do you know what's going on with drone stuff?" I'm like, "I have no idea." So she explained to me that there's been like drone stuff, and like she's been seeing like a government car driving around and movement. So as we're talking, she's like, "Oh, let me check my ring camera because the camera has all like neighbors' information, like not their information, but, like comments or they keep in touch with each other." So when I go to her ring camera, she saw the like live view outside, and she's like, "Whoa! I just saw a weird pass by ring camera," and she's like, "But it could be a plane for sure." Like, so I'm like,
Wow.
"Hey, that's weird," but she goes, "Oh my god, wait a minute! Someone posted literally her block that there's drones by right there. And, like it was happening at that moment. It was like her video telling me like it's been so scary. Like I don't know what's going on, but I see like a lot of helicopters or a lot of like government trucks just driving by, and it's everywhere in Jersey. I just thought it was a cool moment to share with you guys, and yeah, I just was creepy. She's definitely creeped out, and she's like, I just know what's going on anymore.
Wow.
I
People are
wouldn't blame
shooting.
her.
Like she's like I think scary because shooting at the drone, and it's getting really serious there.
Wow. That's
Thank you.
intense. Thank you so
for
much for
telling me.
sharing that.
Wow.
That's a great sharing story.
I don't
Yeah,
blame
yeah. I was trying to get in contact with her, see info, and so I know she probably has way more info, but she's probably right now. She's freaking on her behalf.
All right. Thank you so
But
much.
I'll keep you guys updated if I hear more on that subject.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
So being that we're in the
guys.
holiday spirit, you get to pick a shirt from the Distorted Realities Printify shop. So when you get a chance, take a look at it. We'll give you a call after the show, and you can make your pick. Merry Christmas.
Awesome.
Merry
Christmas,
Christmas.
guys.
Thank you.
Thank you for the support. Thank you.
Welcome.
And,
Wow.
and see, we got somebody from New Jersey in our audience. You can always call 2904-803-7327.
Was an interesting story though.
Yeah.
And now they're fighting. People are shooting at the drones, fighting back.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's,
I saw a video of people shooting at them. That's crazy.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
so-
think that's a good idea.
No.
So yeah. So I think this. So by the way, this is not new. All right. This has been tested, and I'm going to prove it to you. Many years ago, there used to be a time called the radio days.
Yeah, the radio.
There was no TV, or the TV was just at its inception. And it was too expensive, and they used to have radio stories. Does War of the Worlds ring a bell?
Yeah.
And you know where it started? In New Jersey.
New Jersey.
Oh.
So people went frantic, buying guns, going crazy, calling the police and saying, hey, there's an
Yeah.
alien invasion. And it was all a story.
Yep.
Now imagine this. Imagine if that was the test to prove that people can fall for that kind of trap. And this is round two
Round two.
for
Yeah.
something bigger. That is crazy.
Remember, every time something like this happens, sometimes they're trying to keep you distracted
Yeah, because there's something else
from
going on.
something else
Yeah.
out there going on. I heard that they're trying to sign a petition of the FAA about trying to sign something about regarding drones and the use of drones for private people and stuff like that.
And they
So,
also they were mentioning. I was watching the I guess there was a big discussion on this in the
a
government.
hearing.
There was a hearing, and basically they were talking about anti-drone equipment.
yeah.
Is there anything created? I'm pretty sure there is.
No, there is. There
You
is.
know, EMPs, right? You can just use
yeah.
an EMP.
You know, they got like a thing that you aim to it, and,
then
they,
it, like-
they jam it and they fall down.
yeah.
But the thing is with these drones, I heard that I heard a guy that had like a conventional drone, but the good ones, not the cheap one.
Yeah.
And he fly close to one of those, and his drone just lost the signal, and he fell down. Boom. So apparently
maybe
those
built-in-
drones,
built-in
yeah,
EMPs.
probably they got something that they use an EMP to that person's drone. So those drones is not the Best Buy drones. You know what I mean?
Yeah, those are not
those
Temu
drones are
drones.
equipped with a thermal night vision. That's and also I heard there was this guy. He's an expert of drone. He built them like for the government, and he was saying that there's no reason for a drone to fly at night because it's horrible. The to
conditions,
see,
the
yeah,
conditions, yeah.
conditions to
Right.
see, and these drones are flying overnight. You know what I mean? So they're very advanced.
They're
you know,
equipped.
They have good thermal cameras and equipment to be able to be flying at night like that.
Yeah.
Yes. So I'm sorry. I'm checking my phone because I'm monitoring the Facebook page, making sure that people are not asking questions.
Gotcha.
So I apologize to those who see me here just flicking my phone. Just want to make sure people are seeing this, and yeah, it's working too. And we're live on Facebook, so you
Make
can
sure
see-
if you're tuning in, you can tune in on Facebook as well.
So let's move on. Christmas,
Yes, Christmas.
you know, and digging on Christmas. Now my heart accepts it. I grew up with it. I was taught this. Before I speak on these things, understand that there's some discussions about these things that can be considered offensive or can disrupt your thoughts because you grew up with a specific ideology. We're not trying to, in any way, shape, or form, encourage you to do that. We're just collecting information, sharing it, and sharing our thoughts. All right. So viewer discretion is advised at this point because some of the stuff that we created with the AI is a little bit creepy. It's a little bit out there. So you just want to make sure that if this is not your cup of tea, please refrain from watching it. And outside of that, we respect your views and your. We're just again. Christmas. What does it mean to you?
There's a lot. Like, Christmas is such a family-oriented holiday to me because every Christmas is so like gifts don't even matter. Seeing everyone so happy and so giddy. Yeah, but there's so much to it. Like I think Christmas is just one of the best family-oriented holidays ever.
Yeah.
Next to, of course, Thanksgiving, even though Thanksgiving did have some stuff going.
With the turkey.
With the turkey.
So right now, do you have any clue of who is Santa Claus?
I know that there was something called Saturnalia. Oh, wait, you know about it?
Saturnalia.
Yeah. So supposedly that's what we're celebrating. It's not
So-
Christmas.
I don't know
So,
much
there's
about
a-
Santa
so,
Claus.
so I, and the reason why I'm asking this question because I want to know what you know, because it seems like the origin story is scattered
Yeah, like
everywhere, right?
Do they tell it? They tell it differently in different like
So-
religions, or
Yeah, so here's the problem. Born on December 25th of the Northern Star, has completed great feats, right? He's also a carpenter. Was able to walk on water. I can name 25 different people in different historical time frames that did the same thing. Right? You have, of course, the main guy, Jesus. You have Krishna. You have Mithra. You have, I mean, the list is long. I'm not gonna sit here and go through every single list. Yes, their portrayal, their aesthetic visual appeal, and the time period might vary from place to place. However, where does Santa Claus come into all of this?
I think it's something like a different celebration. It came from something else, nothing related to Christianity or nothing like that.
Yeah, so it's they call it Yule.
There you go.
Yule. So for those of you who don't know, Santa Claus
Mhm.
that we know was really coming from the Nordic period, right? However, there's some thoughts and some ideas of what that portrayal is. I'm just presenting the facts. I don't, well, not the facts, but what I gathered. So some people think it's a Nordic tradition that it got changed, and some people think Santa Claus is an anagram for Satan Claus.
Yeah, there you go.
An agreement you make with Satan. Some people believe that Nimrod, this predates Jesus,
Wow.
was the original Santa Claus. Now there is a Santa Claus of the South. I don't know if you know that.
Is in
That's-
Florida?
No,
Florida Santa
no.
Claus.
So when we say the South, there's a story that goes like this: there's a gentleman who was burly, white beard, started a factory in Antarctica,
Okay.
right? And basically, that was a delivery company that was delivering big shipments overseas to areas that were in the southern parts of the continent. And what he did was he took a whole bunch of old elderly people, took them to that place, and put them to work for the rest of their lives. A group of young men were in an expedition. They go to this factory and find a whole bunch of old people. They were in really poor condition, and they're like, what are these guys doing here? So the guy picks up the phone, calls the police or the military, and then the wife, the wife goes, one of them called their wives. Their wife got the coordinates. Military police shows up. The guys are missing.
Oh.
Oh wow.
They see the owner of the factory, Saint Nick, right?
Same.
Yeah. His name was Nicholas, actually.
Wow.
Flying on a helicopter. They shot it down. When they found the helicopter crashed, they couldn't find the body. What they found was a polar bear and a man in the Santa Claus type cap. To the side of the polar bear and blood everywhere. So,
Oh wow.
so what I'm trying to get at is there's no one way to pinpoint this story.
Gotcha.
But like my belief is there's no good without evil, there's evil without good, right? And there is a story that always piqued me, right? And that's the story of Krampus, right? I will not touch on Krampus yet because I want to start with this idea of old Saint Nick had a bunch of elves,
Mhm.
reindeers, right? That took him to places and all in one night. He could give gifts to all the kids in the world, right? There's an allure and a mystique to that. Now, as adults, we know that some of this is not, you know,
Yeah.
I don't want to say the word, but because I don't know if kids are watching, but some of this is not as valid as that we perceive it to be, right?
Yeah.
But
What are you saying? I believe in Santa.
oh, I believe in him as well.
Oh, I love
You know?
Santa. I met him
So
last week.
I will tell you. I mean, I've had my fair share experiences of Christmas miracles, and that's not going to sway my belief one bit.
I'm still waiting for my Batmobile, Santa. Never got it.
So
Bring Frank the Batmobile, Santa. You know he wants it. He's been waiting for it for years.
so then I started digging, and then there was this guy who's very well known on the internet. He's one of these financial well-to-do people, and he starts talking about what Christmas is. It's a pagan holiday,
Mm-hmm,
right? And basically you're practicing paganism. Now in
Yeah.
Christianity, we don't look at it that way, right?
It says that Saturnalia was a week-long Roman festival that celebrated the god of agriculture, Saturn, and the promise of spring. When the festival took place from December 17 to 23 and coincided with the winter solstice.
Solstice.
Solstice. So
Yeah.
so
It started, how it started. Saturnalia began on one day event to honor Saturn, but over time it grew into a week-long celebration.
so that segues into this idea that this is a lot bigger than just a
It is.
guy with a red suit and a bag. This is a diverse cultural phenomenon,
Mhm.
right? There's like in Germany, they celebrate Krampus. They don't celebrate Saint Nick,
Yeah.
right? So I guess they don't like their kids that much, right? But it's a joke. But yeah, it's one of those funny things that you start learning and you start opening your mind to all these cultural differences and how they sometimes meld and how sometimes they get appropriated over time,
Mm-hmm.
right? So that led me to question, okay, what about the elves?
Where did they came from?
Where did it come from? You know, who created the idea of a whole bunch of little people in green and red suits creating the toys?
Would they have to be little? They could be
Well, in the stories, they're always depicted as
tiny
small,
elves.
small little men. So and ladies, right? So I'll give you the quick description and rundown of what a elf is. A elf or elves are supernatural beings that originated in Norse mythology and European folklore. So that's strike one right there, right?
If you want a fun little fact, here's your Friday fact of the day, y'all.
Hold on.
Good. So your freakishly frightening fact about elves. In Norse mythology, they were known to be very mischievous and also carry and cause illness, which it's kind of crazy to think about now that all these elves are making their presence.
Wow.
So I don't know if they're the same elves from mythology that just
Mhm.
grew, or who knows. But that's your freakishly frightening fact
But-
for this one.
But that wouldn't turn Santa into a bully.
So
You know what I mean?
here's another add-on to his fact. There's two types of elves. There's light elves and dark elves.
Okay.
Right. So this comes from a book called the Prose Edda, right? Prose Edda, right? Then you have the Gaelic religion, right? Their elves are called Dineshis,
Wow.
right? And they're considered more religious. What's the word?
Like an omen.
Like a good religious.
Good omen.
Yeah, like you
Okay,
can
good
say
on
that.
you,
Yeah. So where does it come from? Uh, it looks like this is all leading back to Germany, or Icelandic traditions, where and I've seen it a lot in Icelandic, right? They always talk about it, kind of adorn. You know, it's no different than what we do with gardens, right? We put what? We put gnomes.
Gnomes.
No,
Right?
yeah, no.
Are gnomes elf or not? Family cousins?
I don't think so. I wouldn't say they're like a direct familiar to the elves. I think gnomes are their own thing, in my opinion, because they are vastly different.
They're tiny, like
yeah, but they're tinier than
Santa
elves.
ones.
They're tinier than
Okay.
because some gnomes are like known to wander the grass, like wander beneath the grass and such.
Because in Lord of the Ring, the elves were normal, you know.
yeah, so those are fantasy elves.
Okay.
So a lot of elves in fantasy
I mean,
are depicted as
I mean-
You're speaking my language. I am a Middle Earth kind of guy.
There you
He is
go.
the middle
Yeah.
kind of guy.
Enlighten me.
So, fantasy elves are more so depicted as these very stoic, tall, magical figures, while elves in other media are known as like short little men. You also have dwarves, which are also, you know, they're separate race, but they share one thing: they're small. But you know, it all depends really how like how the author of the fantasy wants to really perceive them. In Dungeons and Dragons, there's elves, dwarfs, there's every race you can possibly imagine. It's just that elves are not, you know, Santa elves. No, they do have the pointy ears. It's just that they're like probably the tallest race in D&D and such. It's a whole nother thing. that
So
we're
if
gonna see.
Santa has a place when he has little people working for him, doesn't that turn him into a bully?
Not necessarily, but it does beg the question about child labor laws.
right. And also, like, is he the CEO?
I would think so.
So no. Then here comes the other problem. You know,
He's like the Jeff Bezos.
I was thinking of toys, right?
Amazon.
So I was thinking about this, and I was like, you know, when I was a kid, Peter Pan was really cool.
Yeah.
What if these lost boys were the result of Krampus taking them? So Krampus, right? He does a couple of things. He takes the kids, he either eats them, kills them, drowns them, or he puts them in service to Saint Nick.
Okay.
What if these elves,
I know where you're going. So
like you want to be bad? You're
the
gonna work for the
kids-
rest of your life.
the kids that behave badly, Krampus got them and put them to work for
And
Santa.
if they're beyond
Hard
saving,
labor.
if they're beyond saving, you know what he does to them.
Wow. And maybe they don't grow because it's too cold over there or something, and
I would like to
they don't
think
get that much
magic.
food. Maybe.
I like to think it's magic. I like to think it's a curse that maybe Saint Nick puts on them.
Right? Maybe
Or
you're not gonna grow.
Yeah, you never grow. You
That happens to me. That's why I'm 5'5".
It's okay, Frankie.
So just so
6'6"
you
too.
know, elves are not always considered what you think. They're actually considered demonic for the most part.
Wow.
Yeah, they're not considered, you know, fair acting people. But I mean, if Krampus puts you in lockdown for a whole century, you're probably going to become evil.
Yeah.
Right? So that's something that I got from the site. They did mention Yilf, which is in the book Beowulf, the poem. Yilf is another word for elf. So Nordic people actually acknowledge that species, right? Some places you're not allowed to say that word.
Wow.
Wow.
You're punishable by jail time.
They're gonna say punishable by death.
You know, I saw a documentary of a guy that supposedly he has contact with I don't know if it's gnomes.
Yeah. So I know what you're talking about.
He has to go up to the mountain and there's like a cave there.
Yeah, he looks like a guy that has like a full beard and glasses.
mhm.
And you know what he looks like? A guy who reads fantasy books all day.
Yeah.
And he used CGI and claymation to do this. But you know what? if it's real, kudos to him.
But he do tours. He take
Yeah,
people to
well-
people pay, I think, to
I-
for
I
him
don't
to
know.
take him. Yeah.
So this thing,
Anyway.
this thing has longevity. This thing is very real. The elf cross is very similar to a 5-pointed normal star. It's exactly the same, right? And why do people stay away from the elves? To your point, they cause illnesses.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's part of a lot of culture. It was part at one point of the romantic movement. This is when things were romanticized. Modern English
Mhm.
elves is what they call
Like
it, right?
gotcha.
Like my elves,
Well, how are you? The ones you like? How are?
they're evil.
Hmm.
They're evil, and you know why they're evil? Because they're mischievous. They're also not alive, but alive. They're also under control by one person.
Santa?
Capital K.
Starts with a K.
Krampus.
Starts with a K.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh.
So my thing is that these elves are there to serve a purpose, right? And I think like this is my every certain amount of years, right? Like every 50, 100 years,
Mhm.
Krampus shows up. It's time to collect, you know?
Mhm.
And then he goes to these towns and he sends the elves first. They're like the little military men. right?
Oh,
And
he's
they're gonna go
huntsman.
in.
Huntsman.
So yeah,
Okay.
so they go and
Defensors.
they start cleaning house, and then they wait for Krampus to show up and say, "Stage is set, have a feast." And you know what that feast is? The little boys.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's
What do you
bad.
think?
That's bad.
Share your
Yeah.
thoughts on YouTube. So yeah, so that's what I think. So I think elves are very interesting. Yes, they're portrayed as beautiful, you're flowing, glowing individuals with rogue-like abilities, and pointy ears, and Tolkien. But for the most part, they're really portrayed as small individuals who are very sneaky, very aggressive, and very zombie-like.
I
Wow.
had a crush. I have to admit it. To Lord of the Rings.
You talking about Aerosmith's daughter?
Yeah.
Liv Tyler? Is it
Liv Tyler.
Liv Tyler?
Yeah.
Wow.
Hey, wherever you are,
I
Liv
don't wanna
Tyler.
close
I'm here.
my
I'm here.
I can see this now. Wow.
She looked very good as an elf.
Yeah, I mean,
Those pointy ears.
they drove you crazy, didn't they?
They spoke to you some type
Yeah.
of way, Frank.
Oh my god. that was
In the
good.
language, they actually have their own language.
Yeah.
People actually study this language, and they go to like Comic-Con and shit, and they start talking Elvish. Who the hell does
Yeah,
that?
it's the
I
same
mean,
thing with
it's-
Sims. I don't know if you Sims language.
Yeah.
Yeah, people could speak Sims language pretty few.
What do you mean? What?
Like the
the
game,
game
The Sims.
The Sims? Oh,
Yeah,
Blah,
people-
blah, 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 blah.
Like
Yeah.
they'll be like
Wow.
"I'm like amiibo," and like
Yeah.
people will understand what they're saying.
what happened? I have a worse theory here. What happened if Elvis was an elf?
And that's what they call them Elvis.
That's
There
like
you go.
King of
Because
the
that
Elves.
means king of the elves.
King of the elf.
Wow.
And remember, he disappeared.
A hunker hunker. Hey Santa, give me my blue suede shoes.
Santa.
he they never knew if he died, he's still alive. People
I
have
was in
seen
Great
him.
Slim. Mhm. All right, so I think it's time for us to say that the elf is just an evil creature.
Yeah.
Yes or no? Are we all in agreement?
I'm in agreement with it.
Have to. Sorry, Liv Tyler.
There you go. So he's in agreement.
Yeah.
So without further ado, the first of 3 videos, the elves.
In the shadows they creep, lurking in the trees, zombified laughter, echoing with these. Christmas bells ring, but it's a twisted sound. Elves in the night, bringing terror to town, awaiting Krampus. The darkness draws near, horror and chaos in the heart watch here. Whispers of dread echo under the moon. Stockings are hung, but they hide a dark tune. Snow falls softly, it covers the fright, while shadows come out to play in the night. Beware of the creature with eyes full of spite. Under the mistletoe, there's no safe place tonight.
Share your thoughts. I thought the elves kicked ass. The evil elves. But I mean, it goes back to saying, well, that's the frontline soldier. But Santa Claus has to transport himself, right? He doesn't go and spread holiday cheer by going through chimneys without transporting himself, right? So he has these magical beings called reindeers, right?
Yeah.
Now reindeers are real, right?
Yeah.
We know that to be real, a real specimen, a real creature. And I think that there's not really much to say about it other than he must have a special type of reindeer.
I like to think that his reindeers are genetically modified because a lot of people say that they're they're aerodynamic.
Well, Rudolph has a shiny nose that
A red nose.
anybody can confuse it with a drone. Like if he flies right now towards New Jersey, people can shoot at Santa.
They might think he's a drone.
Yeah.
Hey, J-Rock, I think it's time for another freakishly frightening fact.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Mr.
So, there's not much about reindeers that are freakishly frightening, but there is a fact about a certain animal that is kind of crazy. There is a tradition in the Southwest or South Welsh regions called Mary Lwyd. And this is where a villager parades a horse's skull decorated with ribbons through the streets on Christmas Eve. So imagine it's Christmas Eve and a person is roaming the streets with a horse skull.
So I can give you a little more detail about Mary Lwyd.
Mary Lwyd.
Right? He shows up, and one or two things will happen. If you welcome her into your home, you will have great fortune in spite of her appearance.
Wow.
You have to eat her food of choice. It's called gruel. Gruel, yeah.
That sounds very
but if you
weird.
don't and you don't let her in,
You get. Oh, wow.
Ah.
so that's a very good fun fact because that's
Freakishly
another one
frightening.
of those. So you know how we always know Santa Claus, elves, reindeers, Jack Frost. These are one of those entities that fit in the universe of the evil
Of the
side.
evil side of the
Yeah,
Right.
okay.
So and there's more of those types, right? We're only targeting the main three because they're the ones who are most prevalent in our society. But yeah, it's very interesting. So do you know do you know all the reindeers that ride Santa's sleigh?
Dasher. There's like a whole list, isn't there? I know Dasher, Rudolph, and there's I don't know the rest. Dasher and
So-
Rudolph are the only ones in my head.
You got
I don't know.
you got a Dasher, that's the fastest reindeer.
Dasher.
You have Dancer, you have Prancer, the lazy one. You have Vixen, Comet, Cupid, Donner, and Blitzen, and Rudolph.
Okay.
So this reminds me of the old claymation.
Oh
show.
man.
Rudolph the
Red-nosed
red-nosed
reindeer.
Yeah.
Sing it, Frank.
Yeah.
Sing it, Mr. Walls.
You'll go down in
So yeah, there's really not much to say, but other than sharing our opinions of what this thing is to Krampus.
Oh, yeah. So Krampus, I heard he's the one that feed the reindeers.
You know what he feeds them?
Fresh blood.
Wow.
J-Rock,
Yeah.
you may want to change the camera for this one. Group scene, maybe.
Thank you, sir.
Of course.
But yeah, he feeds them.
Flesh for the beast.
In the wise words of Freddy Krueger, fresh meat, so sweet.
You know, fun fact. Fun fact.
Oh, you're rebounding
Yeah,
me
I
here.
got a fact right here. Did you know that the actor that used to play Freddy Krueger was on the TV series
V.
V?
That
You need to watch that.
It's a series. It was a mini series about reptilian aliens invading Earth.
wow.
Doesn't that like throw you off a
Yeah,
bit?
he went from slashing teenagers to being in
Yeah.
a show about alien or lizard people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he was a nice guy in that show, right? He fell in love with a human
Okay.
and all that. Yeah.
So, reindeers. What is your visual representation to Krampus's?
Would like to think that the reindeers, like, if they're when they're taken over by Santa, of course they're going to be nice. They're going to be beautiful looking. But I'd like to see, like, when they're taken over by Krampus, more scary looking, like monster looking ears. Like I can imagine that instead of having a bright red nose, Rudolph has like this really weird mass on his face. And then Dasher has something up with his legs, like multiple legs to make him go faster, you know. Something like that.
Or he's missing a leg.
Or
The
he's
opposite.
missing a leg.
Like you can't run fast enough now.
What if they're like you know, there's a disease that turns the deers like into zombie.
Yeah, zombie deer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there is a disease.
I think it's
Mhm.
a parasite.
It's a
if
parasite,
I'm not
actually.
mistaken.
Yeah.
It's the same. It's kind of like similar to the zombie bug, the
Yeah.
zombie fly,
Yeah.
right? That's a parasite that goes inside the.
It takes a fly's body or
Yeah.
an ant's body. Takes an ant's body and basically just takes over its entire body and it's dead, and the fungus makes it move and it
Wow.
spreads.
So what if
spores.
over time these reindeers get replaced by Santa, and Krampus gets to keep them?
Mm-hmm.
That'll be crazy, right?
That
This
would
would
be
make for a
crazy.
crazy movie.
It
right
is.
there,
It
like-
is. It is.
But-
the lone escapee deer, the one that escapes Krampus's grasp?
So another thing is reindeer meat actually tastes good according to the general consensus that has
Yeah.
Venison.
There's a lot of people
Isn't
that.
wasn't that kind of venison? Because it's a type of deer, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's just the rain part. I don't know. I don't know.
I think
but-
the rain part probably adds something to it.
so
That's
so,
a dry deer.
So yeah, so I think when it comes to the reindeer itself, it's a means of transportation. Now it is depicted as a creature that drags a sleigh through the sky,
Mhm.
and it is not bound by time because it
Gotcha.
has to reach every single home in one night. How do you do that?
I mean, maybe he teleports,
Maybe.
or maybe he has like super. I don't know, jet engines. You know,
I would
the-
like to think that Santa uses a mix of light speed travel from Star Wars
Could be. Could be.
and like portals, because there, or maybe he has copies of himself that he sends out. Who knows? Like
I don't believe that he go through the chimneys. Maybe he teleport.
he lockpicks
And people-
the house. He lockpicks
No,
the
that
front
will
door.
that will take too long. Maybe, but
Maybe he
it's-
takes Ozempic.
Sampic.
So yeah, so it's a possibility. But anyways, I think that there's really not much to discuss when it comes to the reindeer. I just think it makes for great conversation. We know that they're real animals. We know that they do move sleighs because there are people who actually domesticate them to some extent to
Mhm.
move and transport in the winter areas,
More
bit more
snowy
specific,
areas.
yeah, specifically snowy wooded areas. And they're also very much treasured in our society,
Yeah.
right? Because they're one of the semblance or
They're
one of
beautiful.
the iconic pieces that represent the Christmas holiday, right?
Mhm.
And I think that's the best way to put it. However, because I am such a holiday jeer, not cheer,
Cheer.
I am going to showcase what I think
Yeah.
the the reindeer is. So without further ado,
Get ready, y'all.
the reindeer.
Whispers in the frigid night, shadows creep with sinister white. Summified reindeer, grisly psyche, the brightest take to flight. Holidays twisting into fright as crimson fills the icy air. Sleigh bells jingle with a get bite, a banquet of dread, a dark fair. As blood fills the air, sleigh bells ring of doom, a feast of dark despair.
In the shadows hear the cries, zombified reindeer feast all eyes. Chains are clanking as night nightmares rise. Krampus leads with wicked eyes.
Frost-bitten winds, the eerie choir, sings of terror, feeding the fire. Hollowed hearts, they never tire. In the dark, where souls conspire.
So yeah, the reindeers do come in different colors.
Mm-hmm.
So anything on YouTube or
Nothing on YouTube.
check on the phone, make sure that people. I'm pretty sure people are looking at this. So, ladies and gentlemen, now it's time for the main event. The man with the plan.
Ooh.
His name starts with a K.
And ends with an S.
Krampus.
Mr. Krampus.
Mr. Krampus.
Thank you for summoning me.
Oh,
Merry Christmas, your souls are now mine.
We said it 3 times.
Instead of saying ho ho ho, I'll go. So Krampus. What is he?
Well,
Go ahead.
Frank Walls, thank you so much for this wonderful info. So Krampus is
anytime, sir. Anytime. It's a pleasure.
Krampus is a Central European popular legend of a half goat, half demon monster who punishes misbehaving children at Christmas time. He is a devilish companion of Saint Nicholas. Krampus is believed to have originated in Germany. This is the frightening fact. He originated in Germany, and his name derives from the German word Krampen, which means claw.
That almost sounds like a dance move.
The Krampen.
The
I don't know if you guys remember Simpsons, the thing where Marge is like, "I'll prompt with your sweetheart."
The Krampen.
Well, the story of Krampus is a dark tale of a half-demon, half-goat creature who punishes children who misbehave on the evening of December 5th, also known as Krampus Nacht.
Interesting. Hold on one second. I just want to disable a video here. Here, reindeer's off. Okay, there we go. So this is Krampus in a nutshell. Krampus has a lot of history.
How much?
Some people believe that Odin was Krampus.
You mean Odin from the Norse mythology?
Yeah, you know that Odin was considered to be Santa Claus, and he had a horse that had 8 legs.
Wow.
Yeah,
So that's playing.
that dancer.
No, that's
Dasher,
playing.
Dasher.
That's playing
So
the
Santa
fast.
Claus stole it.
He said,
There you
"Yeah, I don't think you need that anymore. Let me just grab it."
So
Maybe Santa Claus is stronger than Odin, and he stole his reindeer.
Doesn't he have like godlike powers?
Pretty sure Santa Claus is like super mega fast.
It's more magical, yeah.
I do have the origins of him here.
So, bonus points for someone who can guess this. Where did we get the tradition of putting milk in cookies? And what was the original thing you would put?
That I don't know. I don't think it's no.
Wow, that's
And why does Santa Claus go through a chimney? Why is it that their stockings chimney?
Build a lump of
These
coal
are
to let
these are
Krampus
actually
know.
historical. I just want to see where you guys go with it.
the
I would-
stockings.
I would like to think that he puts coal in there to let Krampus know.
So
Like the
I'll
stocking.
tell you, the stockings were originally a way, but you would put the evil in, and they would the Krampus would collect it and put something nice, and it wouldn't be Krampus. There was a different person. Typically during the holiday season, you would put milk or water and bread or whatever it was that you put on the table, right? Because there was an entity or spirit entity that protected you inside of the chimney, and that person would go in, that bad person would go in, eat that, and leave as a way for you to avoid you getting cursed.
Chimney, chimney,
Oh yeah, Mary Poppins. so that's an actual thing. But I got some videos that I want to share before we go into more discussion, which is Christmas video number 1 that we got on TikTok.
Let's watch it, right?
What would Jesus say about Christmas? Well, that's an excellent question, and I've got my own opinion on that, and I believe that Jesus would say, "Why are you guys celebrating my birthday when it's not my birthday?" As we all know, Jesus was not born on December 25th. Well, why are we celebrating Jesus' birthday on a day that wasn't his birthday? Now, maybe your kids are small and you celebrate their birthday on a weekend because their birthday lands on a weekday, so you might move it a smidge, but nobody moves it months. And I think if Jesus saw everybody and told us exactly what he thought about celebrating his birthday on December 25th, he would say that you are all celebrating my birthday in honor of the sun god, Horus, where they used to sacrifice babies to please him. And if you really think, if December 25th was actually a day of sacrifice of babies, how many babies would they have had to please Horus? Well, quite a few, I would imagine. Well, how many months does it take a baby? Because people want to be prepared, they want to plan ahead. So that brings us back 9 months prior to Christmas, where Easter. We celebrate Easter for what? The resurrection. Coincidentally, Easter, which is also another god, Ishtar, the god of war and fertility, which is why there's rabbits and eggs, was actually a pagan holiday that was observed by basically having an orgy. So everybody got together on Easter, had a lot of sex, so 9 months later there'd be a lot of babies. And coincidentally, when all those babies were born, old Horus was there December 25th, wanting you to slice them open and sacrifice the babies to him. And then here we are, thousands of years later, celebrating baby Jesus' birthday on Christmas, when in reality on Christmas was a sacrificial day where millions of babies were slaughtered, and that is what I think he would think. How dare you?
All right, so that was from 1111 Arcturian Star Seed. All right, at this TikTok page 369. So basically he's just talking about the whole event for Christmas, right? Was in spring. This is where pagans used to have they would copulate, to lack of a better word. But typically a whole bunch of males and females will get together and do their thing in the spring, so they would get pregnant. The woman would get pregnant.
My God.
And then on Christmas, you would sacrifice the child to the piece of God. So that's one of the explanations behind
Crazy.
it.
Wow.
So I want to go back to what I was talking about, Odin. I got a video for that. So I want to share that next.
Got it.
Santa Claus is actually the Norse god Odin. Onlookers during the nights of Yule would see the wild hunt a procession of ghosts moving through the sky, led by Odin and Sleipnir, an 8-legged horse. This is where Santa's sleigh and his original 8 reindeer came from. As you can see in the photos below, there is a remarkable resemblance. On the eve of the winter solstice, children would leave out sugar and hay for Odin's 8-legged horse. Odin would bring gifts only to the children who deserved them. During the Yule feast, they would drink mead and eat psychedelic mushrooms. These mushrooms were red and white, hence why today's Santa dresses in matching colors. In part 3, we will explain how the mistletoe kiss came to be. Did you know that Santa was Odin? Santa Claus is actually the Norse god Odin. Onlookers during the nights of Yule would see the wild hunt a procession of ghosts moving through the sky, led by Odin and Sleipnir.
All right, so at this point, I'm going to here because that sound was really freaky. came out of nowhere. I swear. to
Yeah,
God.
yeah. We all looked
So
at
we
each
just
other like,
had
whoa.
we just had music playing in the background that we don't have any clue where it came from.
But it sounds good.
That's the legend of Krampus.
It was a good rhythm.
Yeah, it sounded great. However, I don't know where it came from, so I got to be extra careful here. So yeah, so you have two different stories. I could sit here and get TikToks from different people, or I could even go get videos, like full-on documentaries on the stuff from different cultures, telling their depiction of what Krampus and Santa Claus and all these evil and good beings are, right? But in truth, Krampus, Germanic, Alpine folklore, right?
It says here that Krampus origins are in pre-Christian Alpine traditions and pagan celebrations of the winter solstice. His name comes from the old German word for claw. Krampus is the opposite of Saint Nicholas, who rewards good children with presents. Krampus punishes children who misbehave by beating them with birch rods, kidnapping them in his sack, eating them, and taking them to hell.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
Somewhere there, you describe me growing up. I was.
Was it the birch rod?
There was,
Oh, sweat.
that was a normal
So-
day, you know.
So check this out. So the thing is that in a lot of the stories, he's wherever Santa Claus is.
Yes.
Why is it that in the United States and our society, he's not an image?
That's a good question. It's funny because they actually do celebrate it. There are two celebrations.
Exactly. So it's very weird
Mm-hmm.
how there was actually a video that I saw this morning of a kid. They have an actual parade where a whole bunch of people dressed up as Krampuses go around and they go and approach a kid, and the kid is crying for dear life, like, "Oh, I can't believe this shit. I'm gonna go to hell," that kind of stuff. But
Well, there's two celebrations. That's the one that you were mentioning, the parade called Krampus Law, a parade where people dress as Krampus scare spectators.
there you go.
And then there's Krampus Carton, holiday cards featuring Krampus. So there's like a bunch of cards that actually have really crazy depictions of him. One of them actually has him with a bunch of kids lined in like a line,
Right.
chained up with like their neck chained up and like all
Yeah.
like being pulled. And another one with him with the wooden birch, one that Frank fears so very well.
Oh, you see
And-
me here. I'm in the chat. That's why.
So real quick, I just want to say thank you to all the people that are in the chat on Facebook, that are in the chat on YouTube. Just want to say we love you guys. Thank you for the love and support. And we want to wish you all a happy holiday season.
Shout
with
out
your loved ones.
to Kate Feet, right? Am I saying it right?
That's Kathy.
Kathy Feet. Shout out to Riley Sotero, Edwin Ibanez, Keith Dan. Thank you for your support, guys.
Jacob Adorno Jr., Jacob Otero, Paul Green. Thank you so much for the love and support.
Thank you
you
guys.
go.
You guys are awesome.
So yeah, this Krampus guy's the real deal, though, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, from the
So
looks
he-
of it.
I think that at this point, I'm still kind of perplexed how this legend still remains, but it's not accepted generally in our society, but it's globally.
Remember that over here in the U.S., it was found like a Christian nation. Maybe that's why they left that in the old world. They come here, with the world news,
Yeah.
different stuff. You know what I mean? I
Right.
think that's what it is. But
You imagine Krampus in a Coca-Cola bottle?
right.
That'll be something, right?
Instead of the polar bear, it's just Krampus drinking a Coke, nothing crazy.
That's crazy. But yeah, I think that this is one of the creepier legends.
Definitely.
I think especially during this time period in the holidays, he embodies everything you don't want to happen,
Mhm.
right? Imagine that you're a badass kid and you're in your room sleeping
Yeah.
in the middle of the night, and this is Christmas Eve. You're sleeping, thinking you're gonna get a gift. No, it's Krampus. I'm taking you.
And there you
Okay.
go, gone for the rest of your
Right?
life.
So yeah, so I think that is every child's worst fear. So like when you're a kid, you're afraid of having the lights
Oh yeah.
Aside from the belt.
off. No, of course we Puerto Ricans have the magical chancleta.
Oh, the
Right?
the chancleta of wonders.
So yeah, so that kind of does do it.
I used to go hallway by hallway, turning the lights on.
No,
And
I
then you used to run, right? And you
yeah.
would turn your foot off. Boo, 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 boo.
You would turn it off, but you would make sure before you turn it off, you were ready. There was nothing in your way. You would turn it off and start running for dear life.
Yeah. So, Krampus, in your mind, a figment of your imagination or
Reality.
Reality. What do you think, Frank?
I know in Germany it's very real for them. You know what I mean? I think it all depends where you are. I mean, maybe here because we don't celebrate it. Maybe we don't, channel it, invoke them.
You don't invoke them. Yeah.
Exactly. So maybe that's why. I don't know.
Yeah, I like that. I like that idea. Like a vote. I like the idea of if we don't believe or don't celebrate it, they don't come. Like, that's something that's been in my head for a while, especially with Christmas, because like,
but
you
make
ruining
a
the
lot of
holiday
sense.
magic.
Yeah.
But I do want to believe in Krampus because some of these kids need to get scared. Kids really need to get
Somebody
scared.
have to put him in.
Not the
Put them in their
chancleta.
place. Wow. All right. So my stance on this is that if I am being forced to believe in drones and Bayside aliens and every other thing that has been concocted this past year, why not believe in Krampus?
Yeah.
Right? Like, we've seen worse, right? And there's something to be said about believing in things that you can't see, right?
Yeah.
We believe in a lot of things we don't see. We believe in Santa you've never seen, right? And I say we, I'm talking general population is brought up to believe in that, right? People, and this is respectfully, people are, taught to believe in God and they've never seen them, like physically, the embodiment of physical presence, right? But without question, he's there, right?
Yeah.
You don't question the belief,
No.
because there's nothing to question, but you've never seen him.
Exactly.
So something like Krampus is arguably just as believable, and it has a timeline that as long as it predates Jesus.
Wow.
That's it's been spoken to since the time of Nimrod. So that's something to consider also.
Isn't Nimrod, he was turned into a beast.
Yeah.
So maybe,
it's possible.
Also Nimrod, it has a lot of coincidence with the other guy. What was the name of? Gilgamesh.
Oh yeah, Gilgamesh.
Yeah.
And
So he was an Anunnaki. He was from that race.
And what was the friend of Gilgamesh that they got sent? That it looks like a Krampus, pretty much.
Yeah.
What's his name? Oh my God, I know who you're talking
Enlil?
about.
No.
It was something. I know who you're talking about. Gilgamesh, the one that Gilgamesh took to the trip to fight the Minotaur.
Yeah.
He ended up.
He was a beast man.
Yeah.
He was like a
Yeah.
Krampus. Like he has horns and everything.
Yeah.
You know.
So I'm gonna say yeah, and I think that people, the little kids out there watching this show, be on your best behavior because Krampus might
Thank
come
you.
and get you. He'll probably show up.
Hey, little boy. You been good? Oh, you haven't.
Snatch you up right after that.
So yeah, so I think this puts the three myths to bed in a lighthearted fashion, or legends. It is one of those things where we say we take the good with the bad, and we don't take it too seriously in light of these. But they're all interesting nonetheless, right?
100%.
I think they're. So I think we should play the video, and then share our final thoughts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Finger.
So without further ado, the final video, and I think the best one. Krampus.
Hit it.
Enjoy.
Softly falls the winter's chill, silent whispers through the breeze. Underneath the moon's still gaze, an eerie chill begins to seize. Through the village whispers fly of a shadow in the night, with cloven hooves and eyes so bright, he haunts the dreams with silent fright. In the darkness of the night, when the children close their eyes, Krampus creeps with laughter deep, his shadows dance, the secret lies. He knows the bad ones from the good. A sack of coal, a wicked game. With twisted horns and icy grip, he leaves behind a fearsome name.
And there you have it. Krampus in all his glory. Hope that does Krampus justice. I think we have a caller that's going to call in a few seconds. She wants to talk about the drones.
Give us a call. Give us a call. Come on.
Yeah, so the number is 904-803-7327.
Is this person in New Jersey?
Yeah, I believe they're close by to Jersey or PA. They can elaborate a little bit more on this.
By the way, that video was amazing.
You think
The
so?
Krampus?
Yeah, the Krampus video was
It's crazy. I'm gonna have
beautiful.
nightmares.
I was watching the creative process, and I was.
Yeah, I was watching it as well. So yeah,
I heard the IT team was doing a great job behind the scenes. You had like 20 guys, so they're 15 now too. They're like the rest is in vacation, right?
Yeah, they start vacation in a
15,
couple
yeah.
days. So those guys, shout out.
Thank you guys.
Shout out
behind
Tech
the
Team.
camera. Thank you. You guys are doing amazing.
so I guess we'll wait for the call, but I guess we'll take turns and share what you hope the year is gonna bring, and whatever you want, because this is our last show for the year. We won't be back till January. I will be in Colombia doing some research on Tirasco, doing some recordings, and also looking at El Coco.
You're gonna make some contact with Paulo Escobar.
Oh, we have a call.
Oh, there's the call.
Distorted Realities, J-Rock.
Hey.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Doing all right, doing all right. So what do you want to tell us about this situation with the drones?
Well, what I know basically is that it's been out every night. It usually happens just at night. And only like one or two, but a lot of my neighbors, like a lot of them, and the ring, you guys have the ring camera?
Yeah.
That's how I got everybody in town, and actually the whole city is, the whole state is like, hey, you guys are seeing drones, and so they're out. I don't know if they're out right now, really looking out there, but they've been definitely out. They've been for like the whole month.
Whole month. Wow.
Yeah, it's going on for weeks.
They're definitely have to be looking for something.
Yeah, no, definitely. They're out for weeks.
Yeah, the people were saying that, I don't know, some people were saying it was because of that guy, the whole health that happened.
Oh,
he ended up.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah,
the whole
I was like, let me be careful what I say here, because it's YouTube. So a lot of people saying, oh, it might be because of that, but if it was because of that, then it would have been over. But still happening, then there's something else happening. Like it's, and some people are scared. They're like, it's getting because it's happening so often. But I'm starting to see patterns. I'm starting to see like this whole drone things are happening. Some people are saying that they're like throwing mist or something. I don't really know what's really happening.
So it's like the planes that throw the gas.
Oh, the chemtrails? You mean?
The chemtrails,
that was in Vietnam.
No, they throw chemtrails even to this day.
Yeah, every time they're doing that.
I didn't even know that. I thought it was like a one-time
every
thing.
time you look up and you see those lines in the sky that turn into clouds. Yeah.
Okay.
So that is a possibility. That's actually a good one that you brought up. Have you experienced anything yourself outside of?
I've only seen like maybe on my ring once. It was really far. So I was like, I don't even know if it really is a drone, but it seems like it. But I don't think me personally, I like experienced it like close up, but I've seen it from far away. Now my neighbors have one of my neighbors. He saw one in the backyard. You know, it's just like I understand why they're coming so close to the houses. The point that you literally see them in your yard, like inside, like it's not in the sky. I'm talking about like on the floor or something. You know, what are they doing there? Like, so it's weird. It's getting weird. It's really weird. Even though I think the governor, because that's what my mom was telling, the governor was talking about it, and it's becoming concerning. It's weird. I'm pretty chill about it. I'm just like, it's probably somebody who just doing something and expecting to do some marketing or something. Because the pattern that I'm seeing is online, like on TikTok, is like people are literally selling drones.
Wow.
Right now, as we speak, like the algorithm is showing drones left and right. I'm like, what is that telling? There's a market tactic behind this.
Well, it's possible. My thoughts is that this is really to get attention. This, like I said,
Yeah.
this was done in the past in the radio days with what was his name? Oh my God, it was a famous radio storyteller
War of the World.
that did War of the Worlds in New Jersey. Is funny that it's ironic that New Jersey was the one that was affected. They thought it was a real alien invasion.
Yeah.
And now it's repeating itself in New
It's
Jersey.
repeating
It's
itself.
almost like New Jersey's the
History
testing
repeats
ground for alien alien invasions, right? So this could be a military test run. This has the potential to be a lot of different things, right? So we can't assume. However, what it does show is how it gets people's attention and put people in a worry, panic state. So there's something to always factor in. You know, be cool, calm, and collective. Observe things with a keener eye, and yeah, I think that's pretty much what my thoughts on it is. We're gonna cut it short now, Pat. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna call you after the show. I'm gonna ask you to go to the Printify shop. So if you go to the YouTube website, there is a link to Printify store. Pick any object you want, and we'll make sure we ship it to you. Thank you so much for calling in, and a happy
Thank you.
holidays to you and your family.
Yeah, we'll see up soon.
Thank
Merry
you.
Christmas.
Merry
Happy
Christmas.
holidays.
Thank you.
Yeah, I have to check the phone because
Yeah,
it's
that's
warping out.
cutting it
But
out.
something we could deal with later.
Hey,
However,
could be the drones.
because of the drones.
They're
probably out.
All right,
intercepting the
so
signal.
it's time to close out the show.
Yes.
Mr. Valentine, you're the youngest, so you get the privilege.
He's the guest. The guest.
Man, well, for the end of the year beyond, I hope that, you know, we experience positivity, only positivity, and that the Distorted Realities take off, and really hoping for it. Personally, my end of the things, I'm hoping for, you know, all my dreams to come true, my family to prosper and get up. Awesome people. So,
Awesome.
peace,
All
love, and
right.
pineapples.
So, Frank, it's your turn. And you get to do it twice. Telemundo edition and regular edition. So there you go.
Bueno, a todos los que nos están escuchando, le queremos desear una feliz Navidad de parte de la familia de Distorted Realities. Gracias por el apoyo, gracias por el support. Se les agradece mucho. Recuerden que siempre nos pueden llamar y participar en el show y tienen una mercancía gratis. No olviden chequear nuestro merch store donde pueden conseguir diferentes mercancías. Y estamos en TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Kick and Twitch. So, estén pendientes que de nosotros viene mucho por ahí. ¿Está bien? So, in English, thank you for all your support and love, guys. You can always check our merch store. You know, the link is on our channel. Thank you for the support this year. I hope it brings a lot of good things. You know, we're moving forward. We already have more than 600 subscribers, and it's really good, you know. And don't forget to hit like, share. And J-Rock, thank you for this amazing trip that we're doing. You know what I mean? We got a caller.
Distorted Realities, J-Rock. Oh, that threw me. Let me just real quick. I am going to reset the Bluetooth on this phone because I feel like there's
What if you leave it in speaker?
no, it's gonna bog down. I'm gonna disconnect it real quick and reconnect it.
This is live, guys. We're going live, and like I was saying, thank you for the support. Really appreciate it this year. I hope we got a lot of new stuff, good stuff for us, for our families out there. And J Rock, thank you for this amazing trip that we're doing around the world with this podcast. You know what I mean? And thank you to Mr. Valentine as well, and to all the IT people behind the cameras, you know, and all their staff. Really appreciate it. Thank you. Wish Merry Christmas to you and your families and my family, and God bless you all.
All right, so I guess it's my turn to take the floor.
Last but not least, the man, legend, J Rock.
So every year when this time comes, it reminds me of ships, right? That we all have to endure to become who we are today. And to understand that in the times like this, live in gratitude, to live, set, love, giving, it holds a lot of weight. Let's hold on for a second and let's get this call in. Oh, they keep hanging up. No, actually, that's a caller. Let me call that individual now. Now it sounds good.
Yeah.
Hello.
Distorted Realities, J Rock returning your call.
Buenas noches.
Buenas noches.
Le
Happy
estamos
holidays.
deseando de la gracias, le estamos deseando de la familia Otero en Nueva York. Muchas felicidades y felicidades a su show.
Thank you.
Y también quería hacer una pregunta. En Puerto Rico, los países latinos, ¿también están algún campus o algo así?
Y algo similar, sí.
Sería bueno, interesante que nos lo dejara saber.
Tú sabes que cuando vayamos de viaje, que va a ser pronto, para el comienzo del año nuevo, vamos a hacer unas investigaciones. Primero vamos a comenzar con Colombia, en Medellín. Después de ahí vamos para México. Y después de ahí seguimos en Puerto Rico. So, cuando vayamos a Puerto Rico, hicimos una investigación sobre esos temas y lo compartiremos con ustedes.
Muchísimas gracias. Bueno, feliz Navidad a todos.
Ok, so tú eres guest number 3. So te toca que vaya vete al canal de YouTube, dale al enlace de Princify, busca un objeto que le interesa y yo se lo voy a enviar como regalo de Navidad.
Ahí estamos.
Muchísimas gracias.
Siempre
bueno, felicidades a todos, señor Famoso y Rock, y a Mr. Valentine, se le quiere.
Yes,
y a mí no, a mí no, a mí no.
Sí, yo dije Frank Walls.
Ella dijo Frank Walls, la leyenda de Frank. Yeah,
saludos, saludos.
Muchas gracias y felicidades. Happy holidays, happy New Year's. And yeah.
Igual a todos.
Okay.
Gracias.
Bye bye. All right, guys. So we're 3 for 3. Three good calls. Yeah. I'm really disappointed that the phone wasn't working well. Maybe doing a separate discussion piece would be great. But I digress. I want to get back to the point because we're at the final segment here. So, it's pointing at me. So yeah. So
you get it closer with that.
So to live with joy, gratitude, humility, and to be of service to people is the most important thing. And in times like this is where you really have to step up into. I think that this is a sign of the times.
Mm-hmm.
Things are looking very obscure, oblate, weird, and it incites fear. It incites insecurity. And I think that we need to walk a path of faith, a path of righteousness, and understand that there's power in a unified front, and power in a unified front that has faith in front of it. And yeah, we speak about these things, and in passing because a lot of it is imaginative and folklore and hearsay. But the truth of the matter is that these things could be just as real in your mind and in your hearts, and just as terrifying as things that happen every day. Right. So I want to wish you all from Distorted Realities family the happiest, merriest Christmas ever. I wish you that you all prosper in this upcoming new year, that you have wealth, health, success, and accomplishment. As I've been very favored this year by the support of my peers, you, the audience, my Distorted Realities family, Mr. Frank Walls, Mr. Valentine, Coral, Alex Otero, who's done our audio work, and our families that support us with this, right?
Edwin Ibanez.
Mr. Ibanez, yeah.
The chatters, everyone in chat.
Sebastian, Distorted Realities, right?
Kid Dan, Kid Dan.
Kid Dan Gaming, thank you so much. He's kind of like our truth teller. He'll tell us when something isn't good enough or something is great. Noelia, yeah.
Kathy,
thank you so much.
Yvette,
yeah. So a lot of people put time and effort into this, and I'm just excited to see what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
I think we have a lot in store. Super excited, and I don't want to keep going into this Gregorian chant, but thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Love you guys. Godspeed. See you next year.
See you next year, everyone.
Take care, guys. Merry Christmas.
Chrysler.
This show is produced by J Rock and Frank Walls. Audio and music by Alex Otero. Art and design by Corrales Otero. See you next week, and remember, the truth is out there.